Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back into it and back at it again. Welcome to The Local Show, ladies and gentlemen. We're broadcasting from the Zoe Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. We certainly appreciate you hanging out with us. And speaking of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal, why don't you tell us a little bit about Geddes Federal? Because there's a lot going on, Steve, in terms of people borrowing off their homes. Now, they say you shouldn't borrow too much off the home, because that, I don't know, feeds inflation or something.
I don't know that I'd be too concerned about inflation if I'm trying to take care of my house.
Yeah, right. Just your own.
I'm not like, I was going to borrow that extra $2,000 to finish the kitchen, but I don't want to drive the national debt up. I don't think that's the problem.
You could get a mortgage, though, and get a new home.
And Geddes, they take certificates of deposits and money markets from folks that are trying to maybe not want to risk the market right now.
Right.
And then what do? They turn around it and loan it to someone that buys a house or someone that needs a home equity loan. Yes, yeah. It's very...
George Bailey.
That's the guy. I was trying. It's very George Bailey. What's the line from the movie, Tom?
Yeah.
Your house is in his.
Yeah, your house is in his house. And
and it is. And it really is genuinely that way.
Right.
And you do walk in and talk to people you know. You're not, this far away mystery place. So, hey, maybe you want to redo the basement, the kitchen. Great time to do it. Houses are still selling. People are getting mortgages.
Absolutely.
They have that whole
we talked about the adjustable arm that might work.
I learned something on that.
That works for 10 years or so.
If you're going to stay in your house for 7 or 10 years, you don't have to lock into a higher rate. You get a lower rate.
Exactly.
So GettysFederalSavingsAndLoan.com, Tom.
There we go. Now it's time to talk to Nicole McQuaid. She's the HR manager at Clinton's Ditch, otherwise known as the Pepsi Place. How are you, Nicole?
Good, guys. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a little while.
Yes, I know. I've been sending everybody else in to talk to you guys.
Tom said he likes them better.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I have that effect on people.
You're very busy up there. Tell us a little bit about your background and where you came from before you went to the Pepsi Place.
So I came from the automotive industry. I worked over at Associated Spring, which was over in Lakeland.
Oh, okay.
Went over to Clinton's Ditch in 2015. Started off as an HR generalist, and then got the job once the HR manager retired.
So do you have people who are HR related to work under you now?
Yes, I have two. So
okay.
I have a HR coordinator and an HR generalist.
She's nice. A big shot, Tom.
She's
got people. You used to see it when you walk to the plant. When they see her, the people, they actually bow down because they want to be nice. Is that true?
Maybe to trip me.
You know what they do?
You don't call them minions, do you?
No.
Okay, because Steve calls us minions, though.
Oh, you are minions.
Yes, we are.
I love the Minions. This is a great movie. It's an absolutely great movie.
When he calls a meeting, he says, "Minions assemble."
So is he going as Gru next Halloween?
That's it.
So I imagine you're hiring.
Yes, like everybody else in town.
Oh,
good news is we start at $23 an hour for entry level. Out on the plant floor, we're looking for third and second shift.
So hang on. So $23 an hour. What experience does someone need?
They just need a good work ethic, not really a lot of experience. That whole you need to show up every day is really imperative. But if you can show up every day and have a good attitude, you will not have a problem.
So someone maybe that's working in not making that much income, or tell me about benefits too.
Benefits on day one is a stellar Excellus Blue Cross and Blue Shield plan.
So on day one, $23 and change, or 23, whatever the heck it is, and do people make it? I mean, is the bar so high that if you're not like the top 5%, if you're not the person that's running and working really hard, that you say, you know what, thanks, but no thanks? I mean, are people that get through the process, do they stay and work there a long time?
Yeah, most of the time, yes. I mean, because we're hiring so much, we have people that do fall out, but it's the people that can't show up. So for the most part, if you can show up every day and just have a good attitude and want to work, you won't have a problem. And it's very entry level. It's mopping, sweeping, cleaning, pulling trash. You may get put on a machine, but it's a lot of like food safety, cleaning, and stuff like that.
What's the culture like?
We're going through a transition. It's a good place to work. we've had a lot of people that have been there for 40 years and they're retiring. We have a bunch of new people. So it's kind of this like balanced out of the old versus the new. So it's good though. We have a totally different management style that used to be there. So that's always positive. But yeah, it's a great place to work.
Okay.
Tell me about the lunch breaks. Do you get a lunch?
Yeah, New York State says you have to have a lunch. So yes, people get lunch breaks.
Do you get a Coke?
What do you think you're doing? Just grabbing a delicious bottle of Pepsi, man. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, come on. Come on. No Cokes. We have Pepsi, though.
What do you make there? Let's tell us what you do make.
So we make all things Pepsi.
That.
Yeah, we make all things Pepsi. So anything you see in your grocery aisle, odds are we made out in Cicero. We put it in bottles, cans, and we also have a co-pack business. We make over 27 million cases of soda a year.
What is co-pack?
So co-pack is not a Pepsi product. So it's like Q Drinks, Reed's Ginger Ale, which is this hipster ginger ale that's up and coming. We make that all right out in Cicero.
How about Buble?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yes, we make that. We make lots of
bubbly.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, we make lots of that.
So, Tom, when I was in Mexico, a Pepsi truck drove by.
In Mexico?
In Mexico, in the country. And I thought, of course, I took a picture of it because it looked like the truck wasn't just born yesterday, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And of course I thought about Pepsi is this worldwide, they're one of the biggest products in the entire world. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's super exciting to go to work every day. It has that kind of Willy Wonka chocolate factory vibe to it, right? Because it's so unique. We blend the soda there, and then we put it in either a bottle or a can. And we blow our own bottles, too. So the 2-liter bottles you see in the store, we blow them at the ditch.
So you have
and
a
we
bunch
fill
of people sitting there going,
yes, we hired you, Steve.
how do you make a bottle?
So it's a preform, and you put it in a blow mold machine, and it just takes the hot air and it blows it. And then we have these airveyors that take it through the whole factory to the filler, and then the filler fills it, and we put a cap on it.
Pretty incredible. And I would imagine that if some of the entry-level jobs are in that $23 an hour category, that the jobs only go up from there.
Correct.
For money, right?
Correct. So
Do you make more than that? I'm sorry.
So as you go through the process, right, and
What are you looking for, a date?
So as you go through the process and you become more trained on the machines and comfortable, you can bid on jobs because we're a union environment. So it goes by seniority, but you can bid on the jobs. You can drive a forklift. You can become a loader. You can just, be a machine operator. You can go in the blending room, maintenance, whatever your heart desires.
Does someone have to start at the entry level? Say
Yes.
they're an experienced, some kind of a technician. Are all the jobs go through that way?
So, no, if you're maintenance, no, we'll hire maintenance mechanics, and we are looking for maintenance mechanics on second and third shift. We'll hire them right off the street, but everything else, you have to start off at general help, and then you bid through the union process on a job.
Does that usually take a long time, or could you get up there in a year or two?
It just depends on the movement in the plant. Like if we bid an extra line, which we kind of do a lot, it just depends on our volume in
Well,
the
you got
plant.
plans up there. That place isn't getting any smaller.
No, it is not, but we're not ready to talk about that.
Yeah, but there's vision for the next
Yes,
level.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
That's wonderful.
And whatnot. So now talk to me about the fleet, because you and I were speaking earlier this week about fixing the trucks, and you need help in that space too?
Yeah, so we have our own transportation department. They carry our soda up and down the East Coast. And we are looking for fleet mechanics, diesel mechanics for third shift. So they make us go. If we don't have mechanics, the trucks can't go on the road.
And I imagine that's a pretty well-paying job. You could
Yeah.
you could have a family on that.
Yes,
probably.
correct. And we just struggle because people don't want to work third shift, right? It's
What is third shift exactly?
So it's 11 to 7 for Steve's guys. So they're a little bit different than
11
in the
at
plant.
night.
Yeah, 11
Oh,
at night
yeah.
to 7 in the morning. And we can have
too
some
bad.
flexibility on that. But we are in desperate need of diesel mechanics.
People shift. Nate, my son
Yeah.
in the Air Force in Idaho, he's working third shift. He says, you know what? I have a lot of my day. And he's
Right.
actually, he's
Yeah.
he's accommodating. He's actually liking it. There are people
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, there
It's
are
very
people
peaceful.
well, and in the work-life balance, right? If you have kids,
Yeah.
you are home when they go to bed, and then you get home when they're getting on the bus.
Yeah, well, that's pretty nice. Good job.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's Nicole McQuaid, HR manager at Clinton's Ditch. You can see all their jobs at thepepsiplace.com. Thepepsiplace.com. Get a life and enjoy yourself while you're working. Okay. Thank you, Nicole.
Yep. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Next up, we're going to talk with Jeff Zarnowski. He's an orchardist at Z's Nutty Ridge Farm. I don't know.
I do.
It's like where Steve was raised over at Nutty Ridge. Stick around right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.